General Manager and Head of MEP Design, EDRC, L&T Construction, Mr. Balakrishnan has more than 36 years of experience in handling various projects in the construction sector of commercial buildings and airports. He has been with L&T Construction Chennai for the past 26 years and is responsible for design in MEP areas related to commercial buildings and airports. His expertise in MEP design, L&T Construction, includes electrical, ELV, FEMS, PHE, HVAC, and CFD systems. So let's welcome Mr. R. Balakrishnan.
So sustainable design in airports, this is what is the topic's introduction, and how to make it sustainable with respect to architectural, structural, and in MEP. This is what is going in the flow. So sustainability is a society goal which aims at for humans to safely exist on planet Earth over a long time. People talk about long time. The architects are basically leading it. They build buildings for eternity. Structural team plans buildings for 100 years life. Of course, MEP is below that. It has a life of 35 years only. So we have to be very careful while using MEP systems in this airport facilities, because airport being known for not being very sustainable earlier days. So, but nowadays with proper planning, architectural planning, latest MEP technologies, use of renewable energies, recycling, which some people already spoke about, major aviation industry can be made efficient, sustainable, and ultimately our aim is to get the carbon footprint down. So basically the planning, people spoke about it, the architectural planning is very important. Where you place the terminal and other ancillary buildings within an airport is very important to make it sustainable. And solar analysis is something that needs to be done from the architectural side of things. Building orientations wherever possible has to take an orientation so that the solar gain into the airport buildings is very less. And also it should allow a lot of daylighting entry into the building, which we can use for natural lighting and other things. And by doing a proper solar study, the heat load burden inside the airport buildings can be reduced so that your air conditioning system can be optimized, because the air conditioning is the major power guzzler in an airport. Of course, while doing that, the facade material and the glass material which is being used has to be properly designed to allow light as well as stop the flow of heat load. So this is a challenge, but there are very good glass materials which architects are aware can be used to achieve this. Of course, some of the airports, they've started using roller blinds. When there is a lot of heat gain, especially on the area which faces the heat, sun faces, they use the roller blinds to avoid the heat gain. This is also a technique which can be used if the building cannot be oriented properly. It can be further improved by environmentally friendly materials. This is what we need to use. See, this is one of the airports. Some people talked about the Bangalore airport. So the landscape has been used extensively inside the terminal as well, which helps in better air quality inside the terminals. This is some ways to achieve this so that the indoor air quality improves. Another major thing is the lighting in airports. The lighting, basically it was with the LPD, lighting power density, used to be 1.2 watt per square feet when we used the CFL lamps and other lamps. But nowadays LED is popular so that we can reduce the energy to the extent of more than 50 to 60%. And even in LED, there is a lot of technology improvement. You have to use a light, modern day light with 160 lumen per watt. What it means is, even with a lower wattage, you will get more output of light. That is what it essentially means. So when you do the airports, try to look into all these technical aspects, the specification aspects, where you can get maximum benefit out of using the right material, right type of LEDs and other things. On the electrical front, you should look at energy losses being avoided throughout, because the airport is a large area. So you need to avoid the losses. The energy efficiency can be achieved. Coming to further development in lighting, we need to have a controlled lighting system throughout the airport where you can use the daylight. Where the daylight is there, you don't have to switch on the lights so that the energy can be saved. This all can be done with the DALI-based systems, which is available, which is not expensive nowadays. So this can be tried out in all the airports, and you have a proper control of all your electrical systems and lighting systems. In renewable energy, people talked about it. So the country is going towards reducing the carbon footprint. For that, all airports have started using solar energy. There are different ways of using the solar energy, right from using it on the rooftop. We have made provision in some of the airports to install the solar rooftop materials so that energy can be taken. An airport being a large space, you can create solar farms in the areas which is not used. And our aim should be to get to net zero. Net zero means what it is, you generate the power within the site for powering the airports. That should be the aim going forward to all the airports. In addition to solar, we can use some wind farms also if it is favorable in that area. Other thing is, now you have a large airport has large systems and spread out in many places. So this needs to be managed well by terms of automation and power management at every level using SCADA systems and building management systems. These are two systems which we can use across the airport, which will also save energy and also warn you on operation and maintenance requirements when the efficiency of equipments or the life of the equipments are over. You can preempt the operations and do a better job. Coming to HVAC systems, there are new technologies where you can use high efficiency motors. You can use EC fans, which are very energy efficient. And in the water supply system, people had already talked reuse of water, rainwater harvesting within the airports. The key takeaways in a sustainable design I've just summarized here. You plan the infrastructure to retain all the existing site trees and landscape to the extent possible, orientation of building, selection of local materials, use high efficiency electrical equipments and LED lighting, use of renewable and bioenergy fuels towards net zero. You do power management and building management in the airport. Use sensors for sanitary fixtures and treatment plants to recycle and reuse the water. This is the summary of what we can do for sustainability in an airport. Thank you.